Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Giving all praises, honor, and immense glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Ha Quadash. Double honors to my elder apostles, a great millstone, and peace and salutation to hopeful elect. All right, the Bechayim that's been preordained, predestined to get delivered these last times and to be the ruling governing body of the nation Yasha'Allah. So this is just an update on what's going on in Myanmar once again. All right, which whatever's going on over there, you know, all the killings and the sedition among men, the citizens against the police force and security forces. It has to be, in my opinion, something bigger, something maybe the elites are trying to get out of that country, or stage a coup to, you know, do something to plant something there. All right, maybe a test run. Okay, either way, it's prophecies. You know, it's scriptures. The people are getting stirred up in the spirit, regardless. You know, but I can see them, you know, maybe distributing that RFID chip, all right, in low countries like Myanmar, you know, for tracking devices, and the UK is already talking about using face scanners on people. Okay, but this is a U.S. embassy staff leaving Myanmar amid risk of civil unrest. It says Myanmar activists held candlelit vigils overnight as the death toll from the military crackdown on anti-coup protesters and clashes in ethnic border areas to continue mount on Wednesday, prompting the United States to order all non-essential embassy staff to leave the country. At least 4 more protesters were reported killed by security forces during demonstration in the country's southern Tainan Thari, if I pronounce that right, region on Wednesday morning, according to Myanmar Now news agency, while social media images showed soldiers patrolling the Kamoyu township of Yangon. Meanwhile, dozens of protesters marched in the Saikiki Kandugunto township of Yangon, while a few young protesters carrying anti-military government banners took to the streets in North Dagon. Social media also showed hundreds of people in Mogong township in Kachin state who began marching at dawn on Wednesday. More than 520 civilians have been killed in 2 months of protests against the February 1st coup, 141 of them on Saturday, the bloodiest day of the unrest, according to the Assistance Association for Political Prisoners. All right. So just skipping down, it says border area violence fighting has also flared between the army and the armed rebels in frontier regions, and refugees are spilling over the border into Thailand. The Karen National Union armed group, which operates along the eastern border with Thailand, said on Tuesday it was embracing for a big government offensive. The group urged the international community neighboring Thailand in particular to help Karen people fleeing the onslaught and call for countries to cut ties with the military government to stop the violence against civilians. Meanwhile, the Kachin Independence Army, a rebel group in the north, attacked a police station in Kachin State at 3 a.m. on Wednesday. Okay, so the threat of civil unrest. Amid growing concern over civil unrest, the United States on Tuesday ordered the departure of non-emergency U.S. government employees and their family members from Myanmar. It's quite clear the situation in Myanmar is deteriorating rapidly and creating quite interesting bedfellows. Brian Harding, a senior expert on Southeast Asia at the United States Institute of Peace, told Al Jazeera, the military coup and the crackdown has managed to unite fractious groups. Rebels have battled the government for decades for greater autonomy in remote border regions. The military has justified its long grip on power by saying it is the only institution capable of ensuring national unity. Military aircraft bombed KNU fighters on the weekend, sending about 3,000 villagers fleeing into Thailand. All right, as you can see that picture, an injured Myanmar says refugee is being carried on a stretcher after crossing the Salween River into Thailand on Tuesday. All right, and it says, I'm just skipping down. Okay. Actually, let me just read this. It says, a spokesman for the UN Refugee Agency told the Reuters news agency it was concerned about reports people were being sent back, and it was seeking information from Thailand, a border state in India, withdrew in order to refuse refugees food and shelter after the measure drew fierce public criticism. Reprehensible violence. See, hey, that's the love of many waxing cold. You know, here it is. You should be able to take, people who are fleeing from, their own military killing them. All right. It's just disastrous over there, man. And that's coming over here to America. That's coming worldwide. All right. Myanmar is coming worldwide. Okay. You know what we're seeing. All right. It says everyone has an appointed sword. The scriptures talk about the sword, the fowls of the heavens, the beasts of the field. So worldwide destruction and death is imminent. It says the military seized power in February, saying that the November elections won in a landslide by Aung San Suu Kyi's party were fraudulent, an assertion dismissed by the election commission. A civil disobedience campaign of strikes has paralyzed parts of the economy, and protesters stepped it up by asking residents to leave their rubbish at city intersections in Yangon. Right, so this civil unrest is actually causing their economy to fail. Okay, and that's of a truth. Okay, when everything is burnt down and people are civil unrest and things go back on lockdown, that's going to cause an inflation of prices and but most importantly an economic collapse. Okay, especially in America, as the dollar keeps inflating, they're printing more money than they're issuing out. It's going to cause hyperinflation, and with that followed by is economic collapse. It's crazy how people don't protest against this. Getting their stimulus, but they don't protest against the failing economy. It says Western countries have condemned the coup and the violence and called for Aung San Suu Kyi's release, and some have imposed specific sanctions. In Washington, D.C., U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said some foreign countries and companies with significant investments enterprises that support Myanmar's military shall reconsider those stakes. He said the recent violence was reprehensible and followed a pattern of increasingly disturbing and even horrifying violence against demonstrators opposing military rule. All right, so just want to get that quick article. All right, hey, but that's coming. Okay, all out hell breaking loose. Sedition among men, rebellion. All right, sedition among men, rebellion. Okay, being refugees. All right, nomads. You got to leave your home. It said 3,000 people in a village had to leave their home. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 40. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. So that doesn't apply to men, the Lord, but also everyone. Everyone's going to be, on the verge of just survival. Okay, doing whatever it takes, leaving their homes because they can't stay there no more. All right, there's no more food, there's no more power. Okay, you're going to it's going to be like the road, the book of Eli, So what's going on in Myanmar, and I believe it's something deeper than what it really is. Okay, maybe they might institute something over there, a new law, a tracking device. Okay, the chip or whatever it may possibly lead to. Okay, just keep your eye on that. All right, I don't take nothing for coincidence no more. All right, everything is a stage, man. All right, these world events that's being played out. Okay, but it's all prophecy. All right, don't get me wrong. It is, you know, the people's real passion and anger towards the military. Okay, but you know, just wanted to get that. You know, Lord willing, you know, it's edifying. Just keep your, you know, your eyes glued to the news and see what's going on. You know, don't get distracted. It's a lot of going on. All right, the UK talking about having us scanning people's facial recognition. All right, you know, it's all leading to that chip. You know, it's about to become a dystopia. All right. So with that, giving all praise, honor, and immense glory unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Racha HaKodash, the honors to my other apostles, a great millstone, and peace and citation to hopeful elect. With that, Shalom.